Okay, it is Tuesday. Is it? Yes, Tuesday evening. It's almost 9 o'clock. I'm driving south, going to the farm. Today was a big day of driving around, delivering things in the morning. I started. Since we live on a farm, we don't have natural gas. So we have to deal with propane, and unfortunately, there's a tunnel you have to go through, and I guess it's against regulations to have a propane truck drive through this tunnel. So we have big propane tanks that we use in our kitchen and for our motorhome that we live in, and we have to take and get those filled up about once a month. We have big, huge 80-gallon ones, and then the medium-sized ones as well. So this morning I went and got those filled up. It was blistering cold. When I walked outside, it said it was 8 or 9 degrees. So the coldest it's actually been this winter. Those temperatures are pretty rare for this part of New Mexico. We're about, slightly under a mile high in elevation, maybe right under 5,000 feet. And even though, that's kind of like, pretty high than most places people live in the country, it still doesn't get that cold. Yeah, that was my first thing. I went into town and did that. I also grabbed empty water jugs that we use for the coffee machines in the stores and filled up some of those. We don't use the tap water because it can have some scale and stuff in it. It's not good for putting those through coffee machines. So we go and get purified water from a filling station in town. I stopped and dropped off the water at the grocery store here in Belen for their coffee, and I forgot my coffee mug and water. I usually drive with coffee and water, so one good thing about having a little farm store that serves local coffee is we just pop in and get coffee when we want it. Oh, and the truck is telling me that the back door is not closed, so I gotta go do that. Okay, now we're headed to the farm and pack up a few things, waiting for the raw milk delivery, and then we'll run those up. And then went back to the farm, did some work. I helped one of my sons. They're doing in one of the homeschool groups a stop motion video contest, so I showed him and helped him get some clips and sections of video that he did not want in his video out, so I helped him with that. And then the staff in the kitchen was done doing some carrot cake and packing those up and got the coolers together. So then I did another trip in the electric cars and drove that stuff up to both of our stores. And now we're leaving the farm again, second time today, in a different vehicle, one of our electric cars. Earlier we were in the big truck, or medium truck, I guess. That's the big truck. Yep, now heading to both stores. We have coolers of yak, beef, baked goods, cake, cookies that we made in the last 24 hours on their way to the stores. And this is almost a daily routine for us, moving things between the stores. So I'll hit the Belen store first, top off my coffee mug, which I actually have now, and then we will head to Albuquerque, and then we're grabbing a bunch of stuff from there and bringing it back down. So I do this several times a week. Then went to our house there and sat and did some work for a while. Admin stuff. I did our double up, which I'm actually late on. We're supposed to have them in by the 15th, but I get so busy that I don't get them submitted right away. But in the stores we're part of what's called the double up program. It is when people use SNAP or EBT in the stores, if they buy local produce, then it's 50% off and the state makes up the other half. So we have to submit that once a month for the previous month so we can get paid for that 50% discount that the state makes up for. That's a great program, and of course in our stores everything is local, so any produce they get, even fresh mushrooms and pinto beans, are our 50% off. So I did that and did just a lot of admin work. I'm trying to get finished up on our accounting for 2024 because we have an event coming up at the end of the month in Santa Fe that a bunch of legislators are supposed to be at, and we, part of our job is grabbing people by the throats who are policy people and telling them that they're not doing a very good job. So we're going to go do that. So it helps to have my numbers ready so I can show them how much money we lost. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm guessing it's around $200,000 that our food and farm business lost last year. And yes, that's a huge real number. It's not something I would recommend for most people for a business strategy, but we work in a very competitive industry doing food and grocery. And so, you can't just say, oh, I need to charge double for this because I'm not making enough, because very, very few people will pay that. No one's going to pay $20 for lettuce. We kind of max out about around between 8 and 10 for an 8-ounce bag of local greens. So you can't just be like, oh, I'm not making any money, so I need to double it. You could do that with consulting. You could do that with other businesses, plumbing or electrical. You can't do that with groceries. So yeah, they're nasty P&Ls, but we're mostly trying to grow top-line revenue, get our processes done right, get our software developed properly, because we have 2 stores now, and it doesn't make sense to open a third until we can get our systems and our logistics squared away to where we know that we can get comfortable adding more stores at a later time. So now I'm headed south. I went by the Manal store. I grabbed a bunch of greens and lettuce that was dropped off by an indoor grower from Santa Fe. They deliver on Mondays. And so I'm grabbing that to take it down to the farm so it can be weighed out and bagged and labeled. So that's what I'm taking down with me. I've got, it's pretty dark in here, but three large white coolers filled with lettuce and greens, probably about 5 or 6 different kinds, a few herbs in there. And then I'm supposed to let Yana know when I'm passing this one town, and she has a bunch of work she's doing for the law firm. So she's going to place an order, and I'm going to pick it up on the way for something for dinner because we don't have time to make anything. One of the downfalls of being this busy is you don't get to eat as healthy as you want to because you got to eat out when you're just going morning till night like this. But that's what it's really like. You got to really go at it and make this stuff work, and it's all on you at the end of the day. So I also want to say I don't have that many followers at this time, but obviously the point is to try to grow it. If any of you that are followers do have questions, post them as a comment. We will totally answer them. We're open books. We don't really hide anything. We'll even tell you, like I said, we'll tell you how much money we're losing so far last year. So it's not really a secret, and we think it's actually important for people to know what it actually, even if they aren't great numbers, what they are. So because doing this is not for everyone, but we want to, if someone does want to try to start their own business, especially in food or grocery, we want them to go into that with eyes wide open. So thanks for following. Would appreciate it if you do that subscribe button or follow us and ask your questions, and we'll get them out next time. Thanks. Have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow on our next upload.